Unless we love order, we cannot attain the full value of freedom. Unless we are orderly, we cannot progress. We cannot afford to lose precious time. Merely being proud of our past is not enough. We shall be ungrateful to our forefathers if we do not set about improving our character and our daily conduct. Difficulties are only a presage to glory which has to be attained. No great gain can ever be attained by man without a corresponding amount of difficulty along with it. The human family is one. We are likely to commit mistakes. Let us forgive one another and let us remember the great truth that love will correct everything, that sympathy will rebuild everything that is destroyed. All the ways leading to God are sacred and we should respect them equally. I give you my own personal assurance that to me, every mosque, every church, every temple is equally sacred. The purpose of education is to make boys and girls know how to think correctly and how to feel correctly. Not only the sense of judgment and the power of observation of the child, but also sentiments and emotions should be trained and guided. Nothing can be developed in the intellectual or spiritual field except by good leadership from above, and a university can provide that organized leadership. Let us not get impatient and quarrel with one another. If anyone dishonors a man who worships God in a particular way, he dishonors and insults his own God. All we can learn today is to look upon both life and death with awe and reverence. Let us be large-hearted and never be small-minded. Your problems are difficult, but with patience, I assure you, you will be able to solve them. That is my personal experience. One of the chief elements that go to make democracy successful is the capacity to take work from loyal servants and experienced administrators without friction or inferiority complex. It is not possible for us to pry into the ultimate secret of the universe, which must remain a closed book to our imperfect minds. Avoid all cruelty in thought, word and action. Mutual affection and regard are essential for harmonious working of democracy. All religions are harmonizing factors. We should develop the strength and religious spirit in us to make our religion a true cementing force. The highest philosophy of all religions teaches the oneness and equality of all beings. Before God, we are all one and equal. What is wanted is a change of heart, the courage to stand up for the right. It is only by right thought, speech and action that we can save ourselves. Even as excess of indulgence in pleasure makes it more and more difficult to achieve it, excess of freedom and liberty of expression defeat their own purpose. The master key to progress in all spheres is mutual friendliness and cooperation and the avoidance of conflicts. Love and help one another. I think we may well ignore dissent based on fear and suspicion. Daily journalism is beyond mortal strength and endurance. It trains literary men to scamp their work. Journalism calls for the talents of an artist, the same breadth of vision, the same divine freedom, the same sense of beauty, and the same restraints that art requires. My father was one of those wise, latter-day old-fashioned people who thought that music was a form of idleness and sometimes led possibly to something worse than idleness. He thought that lazy people practice music. It is not my habit to receive compliments and go away feeling proud about it. It has been my habit to deal with compliments lightly and at once proceed to give in a conceited manner some wise words of advice to those who gave me compliments. There are no people so quarrelsome as the artists. They are very good in their own art, but when they step out a bit, they become most inartistic and unharmonious. Let me tell you, I come from a very music-ridden place in the south, Madras. I have suffered from this music. Musicians nowadays charge nearly as much as big lawyers. Otherwise, you do not get good music. Music is measured in terms of money. All Oriental people are extremely polite. Unfortunately, my finance minister is a very hard-boiled egg. He will not give money unless you prove your merit, and if you prove your merit, you do not need this money. When government says money, it will call the tune also, more particularly in the case of a music society. Therefore, you cannot expect much from the finance department for music. When a bad man hears music, even he forgets his wickedness for the time being. When I say music, I mean good, divine music. Even illiterate people or brainy people, I have lived with them and I know how brainy they are. But whatever we may or may not do, we must eat. Anything may wait, but not this habit of eating and eating. Nature is a relentless accountant and works automatically. Nature requires a little help from us, just a little help and some watchful cooperation. But it is the spirit of love and pity, the earth to share and alleviate pain, the mother's heart that is in every unspoiled woman, which is the greatest equipment for a nurse, beyond all special training and scientific knowledge. It does not consist in polite speech, but its home is in the heart and it shines in the eyes and makes the voice sweet in the ears of suffering. Keep this life-giving spirit intact. Let science serve love and not smother it. If gentleness disappears or becomes feeble, then you will fail in your vocation. Your punctuality, industry and correctness of deportment may please the administrator, but unless your heart is truly loving and gentle, the patient's eyes will not brighten as you go near his bed. Men who are put in responsible positions should take time to think before uttering anything. Mistakes committed by ordinary citizens can be corrected and have not the same wide scope of producing mischief as mistakes committed by men in important positions. Build your character, your heart and brains so that when you are out as grown-up men, you will be useful to the country, help to make India great and happy, leading others that stand in need of guidance. Do not contemplate misery. Always be cheerful. The best energy issues out of innocent laughter.